It's Friday, so you know what that means. We're talking finance, DLT, and DeFi, guys. Got some big news for you today in this episode, guys. We're also going to be taking a look at the charts, but biggest story, quite possibly from the morning, the SEC approves an ETF for Bitcoin related companies. Its profile includes Tesla and Twitter. Tether. This profile includes Tesla and Twitter. Now, see what's more interesting about this, guys, is the list of other companies that are part of this ETF. When we break down the list of companies that are on this ETF, that gives us even more information, guys, because they categorized all of the what we'll call them fourth industrial revolution companies on one list, and they called it Volt Equity. We're also going to be talking some DLT news, guys. Dutch Bourse launches DLT ready post trade platform. Now, this story actually ties into the DTCC because what this post trade platform is for is the settlement of securities and on a digital plane. The DTCC is setting up the same thing. Now, in this story, you're going to see a lot of names that are very familiar. We're also talking about Celo, guys. They're looking to invest $340 million into stablecoin asset backing in the rainforest. Now, hold on. Got to think deeper on this. This is an example of something called a resource based economy. All right. The details on that are quite interesting, guys. But got another story for you. Institutions, they're ditching Bitcoin for Ethereum as ETH becomes gateway to Web 3.0. So, guys, that Facebook blackout, that social media blackout we had the other day, it served a purpose. It's to highlight Ethereum, it's to highlight Web3 and all these other protocols, these decentralized platforms that if they were the dominant ones, that would have never happened, guys. So, got a lot of stories coming for you today in this episode, guys. We're also going to take a look at some assets, some price action. We're going to take a look at BTC. We're going to take a look at Ethereum, Celo, and XLM because one of you guys requested it. So I have seen some interesting behaviors, guys, some interesting maneuvers being set on the charts. So I'm going to share all of that with you. But let's get into the biggest news of the day, guys. SEC approves ETF for Bitcoin Revolution companies. Now, let's just go down to the list of companies where they get to describing them because this is when this is the real meat of this dish, if you will. Park added the fund will consist of shares in approximately 30 companies, including Tesla, Square, Coinbase, and PayPal. Now, they haven't released the full version of this list as of yet. You can go to the SEC's website, though, and read the initial offering document. It doesn't detail which companies are involved, so I'm not entirely sure where they're getting this information. But if these are the companies that are involved, guys, it's not a surprise at all. PayPal, Coinbase, Twitter, Tesla, Square, MicroStrategy's on here. 25% of that ETF is going towards MicroStrategy. So this highlighted to me right away that these are the companies that are leading us into the fourth industrial revolution. Okay. Tesla is all over this thing. Now, why would Tesla be added to this ETF? Seeing as to the fact of all the controversy that has been around Elon and price manipulation and Tesla wanting Bitcoin and not wanting Bitcoin. See, I knew once El Salvador started mining Bitcoin with volcanoes, Tesla would come back to the conversation, guys. And now here we are. So, from an investing standpoint, guys, you want to look at this article, you want to look at this story as honestly an opportunity. Now, the ETF won't be available until 2022, but that isn't stopping somebody from investing in these companies before that ETF is officially on the market. Because once it is, all of these companies are going to get a little nudge up because of this new exposure vehicle, guys. So, Coinbase, Tesla, Twitter, Square, PayPal, Cash App. Well, that's under Square, but these are the companies that are designing the fourth industrial revolution, guys. So that was a very interesting piece. Now, staying on the subject of Bitcoin, institutions don't like it as much as they do Ethereum. And that is because of Web3. Now, this is an article courtesy of FX Street. It's a very interesting read, guys. It states that institutional interest in DeFi is on the rise. MetaMask International, the institutional arm of the Ethereum wallet MetaMask, has partnered with institutions to access DeFi protocols. Now, the flippening narrative has been around for a couple years now, with rising institutional interest in Ethereum. The narrative has become relevant again. Now, this flippening situation, guys, if you're new to the space, essentially, when you hear the term flippening, they are referring to the fact that Ethereum will one day pass Bitcoin's market cap of over $900 billion. Now, when you look at the amount of things that Ethereum is already doing, the amount of total value locked, and all of the potential, the future projects that are coming to Ethereum, they're looking to port the entire financial system onto Ethereum. That's a $1 trillion market, 2-3 trillion by itself. So the flippening is a debate that has been going on in the crypto space since about 2018. Okay. Once institutions start coming in and highlighting Ethereum for their DeFi capabilities. Okay. Now that narrative is starting to reemerge. Says consensus on Ethereum wallet MetaMask has 10 million monthly active users, and it has become the easiest way to access DeFi protocols for Ethereum. The wallet has now partnered with BitGo, Quedo, and Cactus Custody, 3 institutional asset management firms. Now, real quick, guys, on the subject of BitGo, this is one of the asset management firms that is owned by JP Morgan, for one. And they also back a couple of the exchanges that I give to you guys on my list. All right. One of them being Vault. Okay. Vault. Those assets on there are secure, backed by BitGo, owned by JP Morgan. So the wallet first launched this institutional offering in December of 2020. Since then, there has been a spike in interest in Ethereum and DeFi protocols from hedge fund managers and firms. It continues to state that BTC dominance is expected to rise after the launch of an official Bitcoin ETF, not this one. However, proponents expect the spike to be temporary. Once an Ethereum ETF is launched, institutions may flock to the Web3 gateway. My personal opinion, guys, I think this is just going to make Ethereum and Bitcoin neck and neck. Okay. I don't think we'll see Ethereum surpass Bitcoin's market cap in the next 2 years. But before the end of the decade, it's definitely possible. Okay. It's definitely possible. What we're going to see, especially throughout 2022, guys, I believe it's just a mad dash, a mad race between Bitcoin and Ethereum. As Bitcoin is being adopted for payments, the Lightning Network is increasing and things like that. Ethereum is going to be building Web3 protocols, layer 1s, layer 2s, connecting blockchains, interoperability. It's going to be an all-out war between Bitcoin and Ethereum in 2022, guys. But in closing, layer 1 scaling solutions are becoming the global standard. According to cryptocurrency experts, on-chain activity, daily transaction volume, and unique users are rising as highly programmable money powers applications on Web 3.0, guys. And this here is a chart courtesy of Token State on Twitter. He's just illustrating the fact that, and I guess my computer wanted us to see this even closer, which is a good idea. Computer, great job. Great job. But basically, this tweet is just stating that ETH will continue to rip into Bitcoin's dominance. This chart is showing the institutional open interest for Bitcoin as compared to Ethereum. And it just looks like Ethereum is way more popular with the big boys. So that's very good, guys. Now, while we're talking about Web3 and my computer wants to go to Twitter for whatever reason. I do have this open from the Definity Foundation, guys. As you know, I covered the story about how they're bringing smart contracts to Bitcoin, as well as making them those same smart contracts compatible with Ethereum. So simply, you can go from ICP to Bitcoin to Ethereum. Now, that had went through. There was a voting done. It passed, and now it is active, guys. Now, the reason why I bring up this Web3 conversation is because, as you can see here, explore Web3 in action on the redesigned Internet Computer Ecosystem page. ICP, guys, Definity is focused on Web3. Okay, now another interesting metric since these canisters came out, guys, to develop these smart contracts, it has been increasing, guys. Internet Computer, this chart here illustrates the amount of developer activity, guys. So ever since then, you can definitely see the uptick here, and we have been moving strong ever since. So smart contracts to Bitcoin, it's going to be a crucial piece to sustaining this institutional interest, as well as other developments that have been coming down for Bitcoin and Web3. Okay, guys, that Facebook outage did not happen for any reason, guys. Keep in mind that. But next story, guys, we're talking Celo and their investment into the rainforest, guys. Now, why I said that this is a resource based economy story, well, once we get into the article, you're going to notice the details, guys. Today, the Celo blockchain announced the Climate Collective to tokenize rainforest and other similar assets. Over the next 4 years, it is proposing to invest as much as 40% of the Celo reserve, which underpins the Celo dollar and euro stablecoins in tokenized rainforest. So, this is a very far end idea, future tech here, guys. What Celo is looking to accomplish is essentially a stablecoin reserve backed by a natural resource. Okay, resource based economy. I keep reiterating that term because I want you at some point today, maybe this weekend, look into that. Google that term, research based economy. You're going to get connected to a list of documentaries and a bunch of information that's going to blow your mind, guys. Okay. But Celo's cryptocurrency has some high profile investors. Apart from Andreessen Horowitz, Dutch Telecom bought tokens, as did PayU, the payment provider controlled by the Napsters. Crucially, backing money with rainforests is significantly more capital efficient than seeking donations to plant a rainforest. While these efforts are commendable, we believe that it is significantly harder to raise and deploy billions of dollars for planting trees than to encourage people to transact with a currency that is backed by natural capital. At this moment, it has an 850 million dollars in its reserve. So 40% of that could be allocated to these rainforest tokens. The Celo community already voted to allocate zero point 0.5 of the Celo reserve to voluntary carbon credits, guys. So what this illustrates is not only the ESG governance standards, the climate issue, guys, but like I said, resource based economy, tokenization of things. Okay, this is the technology that we're dealing with here. Now, as far as the risk goes, it would be unfair not to highlight that Celo's reserves are currently more than 7 times greater in value than the issued stablecoins, which in theory should provide a substantial cushion. However, all the backing assets are volatile cryptocurrencies with less than 2% in the DAI stablecoin, which is also backed by the crypto market. Some of the reserves are held in Bitcoin and Ether. Celo is up threefold in the past year, and Bitcoin and Ether are up 5 and 10 respectively. This partly explains the 7 times asset coverage. So, guys, this again, resource based economy. That's the biggest piece to take away from this story, guys. Resource based economies are going to become a trend. Okay. That is why you see projects aiming to be more carbon neutral, to be more green. Okay. It's the first layer of getting this green standard, establishing these green standards. So that way, when they do things like this, money based off of trees, if you didn't see it coming, you'll never be able to process stuff like this. That is why they go energy efficient first. We have to become carbon neutral, carbon neutral, carbon neutral. Put that on the mind first, then you can start selling money or using trees for money. You know what I'm saying? Exchanging trees with people for actual monetary gain. There was another project that came out earlier this year, and I believe Hedera Hashgraph has an asset too, Dovu, that focuses on things that are along the similar lines, turning natural resources into tokenized assets, guys. So this is massive. That's why I love Celo, guys. But now it's time to look at the charts. So let's look at some chart action, guys. Starting with today, give an idea of how today is going to go. Right now, as the time of recording, we are sitting at $54,733. Now, something interesting to take note of here, guys. We we touched that band yesterday. Well, the 6, okay, had a bit of resistance, came back down. Now, this wick here, I believe that indicated some shorts that got knocked out. And once they got knocked out, we started to go back the other way. Now, see, here's the beautiful part about this. On the daily, you see our top Bollinger Band has given us more room to grow. When we see this expansion, yes, it is more volatility, but there is more room to move, whether to the upside or the downside, depending on how the trend previous was going. So, previous trend, guys, for the daily, we're going up. Now, we've had this top brand break open, which means that this scenario that played out here on the 6th, where the candle wicked all the way up, made the slightest of contact with that top band, and then it retraced. Now, that is a similar action that is going to play out next. That means that this candle, by the end of the day, guys, could touch $58,000, okay, before we come back down again. What we're going to see on the road to 60K, guys, is a stair step action, okay? It's going to go much like what we've been seeing ever since the first. September 30th, actually, we went from 40 to 43, from 43 to 47. Stopped, sat down for a second, grabbed some water. Then from 47 to 49, from 49 to 50. You see how you stair step action, guys. This is how we're moving right now. So still looking very positive. The weekly is also looking good, guys. We don't even need to explain that because look at this here. Smooth bounce, rebound, straight to the freaking moon, guys. So we saw this play out all September, guys. And on the weekly, the month of October, guys, we are looking so strong. I honestly, for the weekly, as far as the weekly goes for the month of October, we're going to do 60K minimum before anything goes back the other way. Now, this may take the entire month of October to play out, but this is going to happen, guys, and the monthly confirms it. This is what I saw happen last night, guys. Was excited to get up this morning and share this with you because we have been watching this from August. Touch, came back down. The come down was September. Now, through September, we started to notice that we were coming back up to that 20-day moving average, and now we have broken above it. That, to me, is a very, very bullish sign because that means that our trend is now going the other way, guys. So, everything's looking good as far as BTC goes. Let's take a look at Ethereum, guys. We covered that in today's episode. You'll notice that Bitcoin and Ethereum's charts, they tend to resemble each other. So knowing that, let's look at the monthly and see what we have to expect. Now, this monthly chart for Ethereum, guys, that is very pretty. Okay, we came down, we had that downtime, accumulation. Now we're starting to head the other way because what we see here, guys, is that similar move that Bitcoin made throughout September. It affected the markets, but Ethereum never broke below its moving average. It never broke before this below this red line here, which indicates to me that Ethereum was never bearish in the first place. Okay, there was never any need to be bearish on Ethereum. That is why I got into Ethereum 2.0 and I stayed there. Okay, and I'm gonna stay there. But looking at the weekly, guys, we got much the same action performing. No contact with any Bollinger Bands, which means that 4,500 is our next stop for Ethereum, guys. And looking at the top chart, we have broken above that moving average, much like Bitcoin. So we have room to grow, guys. Now, Celo, real quick, I'm going to take a look at Celo. Celo's up and down right now. I think this is one of those assets that they look to suppress because they know the power of it. Excuse me. Right now, though, it's not necessarily looking too bullish for Celo. They have to continue, they have to finish this down pattern here. But once that plays itself out, guys, we already know what Celo can do. Just look back at the history here, guys. Maxing out at $8.23, man. It wouldn't be hard to get back to that, then pass it, especially with Bitcoin touching 60K, guys. When Bitcoin gets back to 60,000, you are going to see a run in altcoins unlike you have never seen before. If you're new to the space, it's going to be very easy to get excited. So you got to brace yourself, guys. But before we get out of here, we're going to take a look at the Stellar Lumens chart, guys. We're going to take a look at XLM because what I saw on the weekly is a break above that moving average, guys. And we also have very good contraction. So we have an uptrend forming. We have markets getting ready to position it. The squeeze is coming. When we have a squeeze, guys, we know historically that some decent price action is on the way. As you can see here, guys, it happened in November of 2020, bust out the bands, and now here we go. We're forming another squeeze right here, guys. And mind you, if you take a look at my technical analysis from the video yesterday, I pointed out a chart for the entire cryptocurrency market cap. This was the week for the last 2 years that the bull run started. It was this week. So, guys, the numbers are in our favor. Now, looking at Stellar Lumens on the daily, as you can see, guys, we had some contact with that top band and we were rejected. However, we didn't get rejected that far. And as long as the rest of the markets continue to do what they do, then I believe our recovery will be substantial. Now, let's look at the 4-hour because we have some interesting action forming here. Now, right at the 33-cent range, we'll just call it 33 cents flat here. That is our next level of support. We could easily bounce off that 33 cent range, maybe down to 32.9 before we start to go the other way for today. Hopefully looking to end the day for Stellar Lumen somewhere around 38 cents, guys. But as we go into the weekly, man, 50 cent Stellar easily, according to the technicals. That could very, very happen by the end of the week. So in my humble opinion, guys, these markets are looking good. The news is looking positive. We have smart contracts coming to Bitcoin, institutions coming to Ethereum, Celo coming to the rainforest, and more banks building distributed ledger technologies to push us towards this fourth industrial revolution, guys. So if you found value in this video, guys, you know what to do. Hit that like button and subscribe to it if you're new, so that way you never miss an update on global crypto adoption with a global perspective. Of course, all the links will be down in the description. You can reach me directly, or you can scan the QR code to the left. Both of them are there for your convenience. Guys, also, stay on the channel today. Got a couple more videos coming out. We'll be talking about car vertical later because there's some more automotive developments when it comes to blockchain that have come out. And I'm also retweaking my portfolio, guys. Got another Q4 portfolio video that will be out this weekend. If it doesn't come out today, it will be out this weekend because this is the last week. you do it after that, you just kind of seem like a hack. We're already in Q4. You know what I'm saying? But point is, guys, got content coming. So you got to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't ever miss it. But with all that being said, guys, I want you to have a great day. Have a prosperous day. Most importantly, make that money. But yeah.